Always remember that we said the mind is the architect of reality. So your mind is actually the creator or the builder of the reality that you get to experience. But also your mind is divided into two major spheres, okay? This is what we call the concept of mental gender. You have got to understand that gender applies in all planes of existence. But in this video, we'll be talking about the principle of mental gender, meaning that your mind being the architect of reality, your mind is also divided into two aspects. We have the masculine part of your mind, and we also have the feminine part of your mind. Now, the masculine and the feminine come together in order to generate, to bring rise into something new, or to give birth. We need the masculine and the feminine aspect to bring birth into something new. So in this video, I will talk about what we call autosuggestion. Now, autosuggestion is the process whereby you administer stimuli or you impress an idea into your mind. So when you autosuggest, you are actually the one who is doing this idea imposition in your own mind, okay? This is not an external being doing it to you the way the social media does it, the way the system does it to us, because the system actually brings suggestions into our minds through the news, through the political system, through the education system, through religious system. So we found all these systems in place. So, and these systems have been suggesting to us ideas. Remember, the quality of your life is equal to the quality of the ideas that you also have. So suggestion is a very important aspect if you are trying to create or getting to experience the kind of reality that you want. And this is very fundamental, right? But in this respect, we will talk about autosuggestion. So autosuggestion is you as the individual suggesting or impregnating your own subconscious with ideas, because the moment your own subconscious gets impregnated with an idea and it accepts that idea as being truth, then you have already created what we call a condition in your own reality, because the mind is the architect of reality, meaning that the mind is the realm whereby things are created, okay? So let's get into the art of autosuggestion. But before that, let's dig in a little bit about the mental gender. So most of us have heard about the subconscious mind, and we don't really talk about the conscious mind as much as we talk about the subconscious mind. So these terms vary depending on who you are addressing, but the concept is the same. So the conscious mind is also known as the voluntary mind, okay? Because the conscious mind is used to make decisions, is used for analytical thinking, is used for thinking in general and deciding, making decisions, right? In other words, or in simpler terms, the conscious mind is what runs the day-to-day things that you want to do, you as a conscious being. So the conscious mind is what makes you as a conscious being, is what gives you the quality of awareness. The conscious mind can also be called the masculine part of your mind, because it is that part of your mind or brain that has the capability of will, or has that ability of impressing willpower. Yeah. So when we say willpower, is whereby you as an individual decide to do something. Yeah. You decide, I will do this, I won't do this. You do things according to your own will, and that is the masculine. The masculine has that power of will. Okay. Then we have the involuntary part of the mind. The involuntary part of the mind is also known as the subconscious part of the mind, and also known as the feminine part of the mind, because the subconscious mind does not have the conscious faculty abilities like thinking, like decision making. So the subconscious does not think, the subconscious does not make any decision. The subconscious accepts, the subconscious gets impregnated by ideas which come from the conscious mind. But the conscious mind is very limited. Why? The conscious mind cannot do the things which the subconscious can do. For example, your subconscious has the ability, or it is the part of your mind that actually does the things that you cannot do consciously. For example, you don't wake up and tell your heart, so heart, I want you to beat so that I will not die. Heartbeat continues happening. the transportation of blood, of plasma, of all the nutrients in the body, all the healing processes are always at work without you having to exercise your conscious part. And that is the power of the subconscious. And that only should tell you that the subconscious is far more greater than the conscious mind. So when the subconscious mind is impregnated, it has the capability of making things to work automatically without you having to exercise your conscious effort. Also, your subconscious mind is whereby we have it is connected to the divine. Remember, the feminine has that power to bring life to new things. So the feminine, be it on the physical realm or be it on the astral realm, are connected with the divine because they are the vessel that brings life. So this means that your subconscious mind is connected to the divine. The divine is the source of everything. All information, all ideas, all solutions are there. So if you learn how to tune and program or input or impregnate the subconscious, this also means that you are now creating a portal. You are creating a connection with God, with the divine, with the source. Okay? So how do you actually now practice what we call autosuggestion? Now, for one, you have to understand how the subconscious mind is programmed. And the subconscious mind is programmed by a number of ways. The most common way that people know that people know of how to program the subconscious is through what we call repetition. For example, if you are used to doing something a certain way, let's say you're used to opening the door with a certain hand, you're used to eat with a certain hand, then that hand creates what we call neural patterns in your mind, meaning that with time you will learn how to do this thing automatically without you having to think about it. That is why sometimes you walk out the house and then after you've now gone out, you start asking yourself, did I lock or did I not lock the door? But the truth is you actually locked the door. It's just that your conscious mind was not paying attention to what was happening because the act was being done automatically. Why? Because of many repetitions that you've made of the same act. So the more you do something, the more you create neural pathways. And we say neurons that fire together, wire together. So the more you do something specifically, your body now starts to learn how to do that thing better than your own mind. So this brings what we call unconscious competence. So unconscious competence, these are people who have learned to do things a certain way. So they end up becoming good, or they do things automatically. They become competent unconsciously. Then we have conscious competence. This is whereby you have to exercise your own willpower. You have to exercise your own conscious faculty for you to do something. But let me tell you, the unconscious competence is far more greater than the conscious. Why? Because if you can do something unconsciously, it means that you relieve your conscious mind of that effort of doing that thing. That is why when you want to create a habit, it's very good to practice repetition, because the more you repeat the habit, the more the body now begins to learn how to do this thing better than you. So that is why autosuggestion is very important, because when you administer some stimuli in your mind, for example, most people are polarized on the negative pole of the states of consciousness, meaning that because you've been thinking the same way, you've been living the same way your whole life, and mainly most of us have lived our lives negatively. We've lived from the mindset of lack, whereby there is not enough for everyone, whereby there is struggle for the fittest. You have to struggle to survive for you to make ends meet. So all these things, in other words, the identities you pick, the thoughts that you have, the emotions you embody, all these things, the more you repeat them, then they become a way of your life. And with the time, you find that the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act, they create what we call your state of being. So you become a being of habit because you've learned how to do things the same way. So by autosuggesting, you are now bringing awareness to your habits, and then you are now trying to work to break those habits. Because if you can create a habit through repetition, then it also means that through repetition you can also break a habit. Okay, a habit is broken through repetition, and a habit is also made through repetition. Okay, and remember we said that your conscious mind is the masculine and your subconscious mind is the feminine. So what you do, you have to exercise your conscious willpower to polarize yourself to your desired state. So this means that you need to be aware of your current emotional states. You need to be aware of your current thoughts, okay? And when you are aware of your current thoughts, you generate conscious ways of looking at life. So you do these things consciously using your own willpower. So if you are normally a pessimistic person, you have to force yourself to look at the situation, and instead of being pessimistic, you look at the good, at the positive side of what is going to happen. So that is what we call polarization, meaning that polarization means that everything has its opposite poles, right? So if you want to move from fear, don't focus on how to do away with fear. Focus on how to cultivate courage. If you want to move away from hatred, don't focus on why you hate. Focus on why you can love, okay? So instead of focusing on what you can't do, focus on what you can actually do. And the best way to create autosuggestion is through what we call affirmations. Now with affirmations, you have to learn the best way of writing or creating affirmations, because affirmations also go with what we call the energy system. The energy system is also known as the chakra system, okay? So when you begin with the I am affirmations, you are actually working from the root chakra, the lowest chakra. So from the root chakra, you move to the sacral. From the sacral, you move to, which is this chakra? I think I've forgotten the word, but we have the root, we have the sacral, then we have the heart, then we have the throat chakra, then we have the third eye chakra, then we have the crown chakra. So the more you move up, the more you build more energy. So you can begin with the I am affirmations if you are a beginner. So for example, if you are a person who has polarized yourself from the point of lack, you can overturn that by saying, I am abundant. I attract abundance, you see? So that is something which is now suggesting something new to your own brain. But that alone will not be so much effective. You have to add what we call confirmation affirmation. So what is confirmation affirmation? Confirmation affirmation is whereby instead of just simply uttering the affirmation, you actually give proof of that affirmation being true. So instead of just saying I am abundance, you could give an example. You could say I am abundance because I do such and such, I attract such and such, okay? So when you give proof, then that idea begins to be held in the mind more positively. Because if the mind can prove something, then it becomes not only a belief, it now becomes a fact. It now becomes a conviction. So go on and create your own affirmations. And if you'd like for me to show you how I create my own affirmations, you can just ask on the comment section. And that, folks, is how you do the auto-suggestion part of it, to now impregnate your mind with the ideas that you want to embody. And if you desire to work one-on-one with me in our self-mastery coaching sessions, there is an email account on the description of this video. Take that email and DM me the word interested for me to give you the details on how you can work one-on-one with me. And I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe, stay blessed, and stay awakened.